Hey, my narcissistic abuse family. I have a great, shitty topic for today, but I think it's affected all of us. When you have a narcissistic family slash unit, because I don't like to use the word family when it comes to these terrible people, but when you come from a narcissistic upbringing and probably more applicable if you're the black sheep or the scapegoat of the group. But nonetheless, at some point, you get ostracized. It's when you start to wise up to the situation at hand, what's going on, and I've done a video about this when the black sheep leaves, but this is kind of retaliation for your decision, your stand to finally take efforts at self-preservation. You become ostracized. They hate you. They smear you. They absolutely vilify you to the fullest extent. This is because you are no longer accepting their toxicity. You're no longer tolerating their mistreatment, and they don't know what to do with it, so they lash out at you. And they channel all of their deep-seated anger and resentment in your direction, of course, because anything outside of their very myopic, very dysfunctional world is a threat to them. So when you have a narcissistic parent at the helm, they are very much obsessed with control. They have to control every member of the toxic unit. They try to limit your freedom. They try to limit exposure to outsiders as well. You know this if you remember trying to forge friendships with people. The narcissist was always there to kind of put her 2 cents in. In my case, it was my narcissistic mother. So whenever I started to develop close, genuine, authentic relationships with people, she would always be lingering in the background with a judgmental, entitled type of perspective. So they're always putting people down, narcissists, because at the root of everything is their feeble, weak, fragile egos. And the narcissistic personality disorder has been developed as an extreme defense mechanism to protect this very weak, very fragile ego inside. So it's this big elaborate facade that the narcissist puts out to fool everyone, basically, and including themselves. They believe it themselves. So when you speak out against this dysfunctional dynamic, you are very much implicated to be an outsider, to be ostracized. They will do everything they can to make you feel like you're the one with the issue, with the dysfunction, with the problem. For example, I have so many examples of this. Okay, so I started No Contact basically last year. It's coming up on a year now. And the narcissist hated it. She did not like one bit of me standing up for myself and setting boundaries and not supplying her with her ample narcissistic supply like she always garnished from me. So she hated it, and she narcissistic raged at me. I have a video about that I posted a while back. And then she sent the enabler, my toxic, enabling, inverted narcissistic father. She put him up to it as well to try to attain, her hold basically on me, on my compliance with the situation. When I wasn't falling in line with them, they immediately turned on me, like turned on a dime, no allegiance whatsoever. That's the other thing. The narcissist will always expect allegiance and unfailing loyalty from those that they keep close, like their spouse, like my enabling father. So when you go outside of this dysfunctional unit, you are very much a threat, and they hate it. So they try to do whatever they can to discredit you, to character assassinate you, because it's everyone else, remember, it's never them. They are incapable of self-reflection, self-improvement, self-awareness, all of that. Narcissists want nothing to do with it. They keep doing the same thing over and over again. I put a post up about this on my Instagram one time. It's like a hamster wheel of crazy. They just keep plugging away using the same behaviors that got them what they wanted previously in life. So they have no need to change it, and they refuse to. They just keep doing the same stuff over and over and over, and they expect everyone to comply with them, at least to tolerate them. So black sheep are typically the justice seekers, the truth tellers in the equation. And when we remove ourselves, as I said, we are immediately vilified. And I have a great example of this so I started talking about last year when I decided to go no contact. And I truthfully, at that time, I wasn't certain where I was headed with all of this. I just kind of took a step back, and they made it so easy to go ahead with officially removing myself from their wicked dynamic, because they were so nasty to me, and their true colors really came through with a vengeance. So the enabler, the inverted narc father, he sent me the nastiest text messages because I was upsetting his narc queen of a wife. So he lashed out at me, said the nastiest things. I posted that in my Instagram as well, in stories probably. But I was just beside myself, because narcissistic parents will always default to saying that you are the disrespectful one. And that's like a sore spot for us as children of narcissists, because we're not disrespectful people, and we would never disrespect our parents. That's why it goes on for as long as it does, because we're actually conscientious, good people, but we're dealing with dysfunction here. We're dealing with disordered individuals that cannot be respected in terms of tolerating their mistreatment of us and their violations of boundaries consistently. So that's where we need to come to terms with drawing the line and saying, this is not okay, this is absolutely unhealthy, this is a bad situation for me. So I've received all of their, smear campaign. One of the things that they tried to say about me is that I'm so crazy and I need professional help because I'm so angry, and that I also need to seek professional counseling because they believe that I'm trying to word it accurately, basically they're saying that I'm crazy because of the MS medication that I'm taking. So this has to be a residual side effect from my treatment, because this isn't the lovely girl that we raised and we know. No, you're disrespectful, you're terrible, you're angry, you're everything under the sun that they can throw at me because I'm not tolerating their disorder, their dysfunction. I'm not being the garbage can for the family anymore. Terrible. So there's that. And then here's the latest thing that happened, which was kind of a light bulb for me. So the toxic duo, these creeps, actually sent a Father's Day card to my husband at his work. He's a police officer, and she sent this card to Joe at his work and included, of course, a note in there campaigning for, we want to see our grandchildren and how could you keep us from them? And she made sure to work a line in there that says, what Michelle said is not true. That's me. So she's continuing to smear campaign me, try to discredit me. Like, obviously my husband sees everything firsthand and he's not drinking the Kool-Aid on this one. Like, he sees them for the toxic, awful people that they are, but she still tries to slander me and work in, and it's like they're constantly bashing me every opportunity they get. It's because, they always say anger is the bodyguard of sadness. So obviously they're hurt and they just want to lash out at me because that's all they know in their disordered, way of life. So she said, Michelle's wrong what she said. Worked that in there, but addressed my husband. Sent him a Father's Day card at his place of employment. But you know what? Mother's Day came and went. I received no recognition whatsoever. That was kind of a light bulb for me where I was like, wow, they really hate me, or they have really committed to ostracizing me, to totally rejecting me as any type of decent person, because in doing that, they do not have to look at themselves. It's always everyone else. It's never them. So by putting the problem on me, they avoid accountability and responsibility for their dysfunction. That's basically all I wanted to say. I'm sure you guys have experienced this as well. Don't take it personally. It's not us. It never was us. It's them. It's all their projection, all their issues, their endless issues that they refuse to address. So they put it on everyone else, particularly the justice-seeking family members such as ourselves that remove ourselves from this toxic cycle of generational abuse. We refuse to be a part of it because we know better. We know that it's wrong. But we are vilified in result. They hate us. We are the root of all evil in their eyes, and they will treat us accordingly. So, love you. Oh, please like, please subscribe. I always forget this. That would be super awesome. I appreciate each one of you. Thank you for watching. I hope I provided you with some type of validation or a meaningful takeaway here. We're bumped and we're bruised, but more than anything, we are blessed because we are overcoming this toxic treatment and we're better people because of it. So I love you all. I will be back soon. See ya.